There's still time to get all those last-minute gifts at Macy's. Just buy online and get your order today with contact-free curbside pickup or pickup inside the store. Need it now but can't get to Macy's? Try lightning fast same-day delivery powered by DoorDash, available in select locations. Plus, you can also shop early and late during extended store hours right up to the last minute at your local Macy's. Some exclusions apply. Pickup and same-day delivery valid for most in-stock items at select stores only.
Antes creía que no importaba manejar después de fumar marihuana.
¿Aló?
Creía que nadie lo notaría porque podía manejar bien. Mamá, soy Luis, me acaban de arrestar.
¿Por qué? ¿Qué pasó?
No solo me arrestaron, perdí mi licencia de conducir, mi trabajo, mi orgullo y causé un gran dolor. Antes creía que no importaba manejar después de fumar marihuana, pero eso era antes. Hoy, ya no.
Si te sientes diferente, manejas diferente.
Drive high, get a DUI.
Mensaje de Nizza.
Welcome, readers. Today we are diving into our year-end review of our 2020 reading, and we have a couple of really fun book nerd gift ideas for you. Stay tuned. Today's episode is brought to you by Orange Bloom's Love Blooms, written by Dahlia Dupree. It's the Mocha Girls Read National Book Club's December Book of the Month. Visit their website and join in today. Strong-willed Elaine Hart is determined to save Heartland Ranch, her family's California orange groves. After the recent ending of a turbulent relationship, she vows to keep her professional and personal life separate, even though she's attracted to the man who holds her family's fate in the palm of his hands. Serious-minded banker David Cole has two goals: collecting on the delinquent ranch account and resisting his attraction to the unpredictable and beautiful Elaine Cole. When a series of circumstances bring them together, they must decide if they will continue to suppress their emotions or succumb to passion and take a chance on a forever love. Orange Blossoms, Love Blooms is available now in paperback, ebook, and audiobook from your favorite bookseller. Learn more by visiting mochagirlsread.com. Hey everyone, I'm your host, Tamara Ford, and welcome to Book Chat here on the Shelf Addiction Podcast. Participate in this discussion by joining the Facebook group Shelf Addiction Official. I hope to hear your thoughts on today's topic. You can always find me and Casey on Twitter and Instagram. The links for everything I've mentioned are below in the show notes. If you enjoyed today's episode, please support this podcast by sharing it with some book nerd friends or on your favorite social media space. That would really help me out, and I appreciate you for doing so. The uncut video version of this podcast is available now on Patreon. Join us there for exclusive videos, including after shows and more. So if you're interested in that at all, you'll need to come on over to Patreon and sign up. Without further ado, let's get started. Joining me today is feature co-host Casey from Heart Full of Ink. Welcome back, Casey.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, I love these book chats because they're just like break up the monotony of having to like straight up read books all the time. So I really love it. And I'm glad that you're here to chat with me.
Yes.
So this is the end of the year. 2020 is going to be kicking rocks in a second.
Thank God. On so many levels. So I thought it would be fun, or we came up with the cool idea to kind of do a year-end recap. We're going to share with you guys our highs and lows of books that we've read. We're going to give you some book nerd gift recommendations because while it's December, you still have a little time to shop and mail gifts. So you got a couple things. And we're also going to just be kind of chatting about whatever comes up. You know how we do. And before we get started, we're going to do a little housekeeping. There's some fun changes coming. All right, so let's start with the changes we're doing to the book club. Shelf Addiction Official Book Club, which is on Facebook, which I talk about every single episode. We're making some changes and I'm loving it. Okay, so if you have not been a part of the group before, we would kind of do a listen and chat. So we would listen to the podcast episode and just chat about it live in comments, which was fun. But it's time. It's time to level up. Yes.
So the level up is we're going to have like an old school online book club.
So you're going to join us, and we're going to be in a private chat room. You're going to be able to look me in my face and see my expressions. Yes. Same for Casey.
Yes.
And Nicola.
I will be there on video.
Yes. And Classy. She will do, the buddy reads, and we will be there to chat it up traditional book club style. So I'm excited for that. So join us. Yeah, join us over there. Go on over, join the private group, Shelf Addiction Official, and mark your calendars, you guys. Also, just so you know, if you want to know what we're reading over the next several months, go over there, because in the next week, for the buddy read especially, I'm going to be posting, because we only do one-offs in that chat for that book. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be posting the first quarter of the year. I'm like, enough month by month. We're going to do 3 at a time so everyone can, sign up for your books at your library. No excuses. We're doing all of that. So you'll know what's coming in January, February, and March for the thriller and mysteries. Ooh. And that's going to be only available in the group, because I'm not going to tell you ahead on the podcast. And you're going to find out ahead of time what our next series is for 3 bloggers. So you're going to, if you want the fantasy series read along, then you need to join us there, because that will be released 2 months before we actually start reading it. So you can get your books, get your audiobooks, get in the extra long line on the library list, whatever you need to do. You're going to get a sneak peek at the end of the month. So you'll know it's either going to be the end of the month or like the first week of January or something. So you'll know what we're getting into next. So join the group. Yes. So much fun. Yeah, I know, right? So also, if you are on Patreon right now, get excited, because I'm going to be releasing these video podcasts almost 2 weeks before it airs on the podcast feed. So you are ahead of the game, and
a lot.
Yes, a lot. And because we're doing after shows, which have a new twist coming. I won't spoil the surprise, but our after shows are about to get a lot more fun, a lot more outrageous. You think we were bad before? Oh, you just wait. So yeah, and that will make that more timely for you guys. So, if we talk about current events or something like that, you'll have it more in time with the actual events that we're talking about. So yeah, almost 2 weeks sooner. So if you guys want to be ahead of the game, see the podcast visually, and check out the after show where we get so much more fun. I know it's impossible because we're already fun, but we get even more fun.
We're the best.
Yes, we are. So we'll be doing that as well, starting in January. So definitely you want to sign up now so you'll have early access. Okay, that's all I got for house cleaning. So let me move this mic back before I'm yelling in it. I have this mic that I'm not accustomed to, you guys. So if I sound different, it's because I'm recording not from my usual office. This office is a lot more echoey. And I don't have my regular mic because I wasn't bringing my big old mic setup to record one episode away. So I have a different mic. So hopefully I don't sound too crazy to you. If I do, I'm sorry. Yeah. So. Of course, I got to end the year off with something different, Figure. All right. So I guess we can jump into the book talk. We can talk about these books. I wrote them down because, usually I got to admit, like when I was looking for like my best of, my best reads for the year, trying to pick the best or even more than one best, I had a hard time. This year was just overall not that fabulous for me as far as good reads. What about you?
I read at half my usual rate, and most of them were just kind of and meh. And as I was scrolling through my Goodreads, I was like, that was decent, but I don't remember the plot, and wouldn't say it was like fantastic. But So I picked some that I remember the plot lines too. So I'm like, that, if I can remember the plot line, I guess it was a really good book.
Yeah. Well, that is a good way to do it. I actually just used, I went the lazy route, I guess. And I went to Goodreads. I found my 2020 shelf and I sorted by star rating. So I started with that.
I did not do that. I just scrolled.
Okay. So I started with that. And then I had to look at which ones I actually thought were really good. Because I mean, I only had... Okay, so first off, we did quite a bit of rereading this year on Three Bloggers. So I kind of didn't want to pick something that I known I'd already read. So that narrowed down a lot because the stuff that was new to me didn't get the 5 stars this year. Nothing that was new to me got 5 stars.
Wow.
Lots of 4s, but nothing got a 5 that was new to me, which is sad.
Yeah. No, I feel like most of my books were 4 stars that weren't meh or straight up bad, that I was just like comfort reading bad books.
Yeah.
Which I do sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, so I hope you guys had a better, I guess, year of reading than we did, because I mean, it's slim picking. So what I ended up picking for my best of the year was something that was new to me. And I really did enjoy it when I read it. And it's a trilogy. But I think all 3 books got 4 stars, which still is good. That's
really good.
It's good.
Yeah.
But like I said, I especially wanted something that was new to me. And it was not, all of them were not published this year, but this was a new to me trilogy. And that was The Chronicles of One by Nora Roberts. Ooh. I blew through those 3 books so fast at the beginning of 2020. I really enjoyed them.
Yeah, no, I've heard a lot of people recommend them, but I haven't read them yet.
Yeah, post-apocalyptic, magic, witches, it's very different. It even has a little bit of romance, but that's not the main theme. The main theme is kind of like the end of the world, saving the end of the world, and that kind of thing. Yeah, I liked it. Very good. And that's motivated me to try to find some other Nora Roberts titles that are also in the fantasy genre. I'm really not trying to read her romance per se, but I thought that was a pretty strong effort. So yeah, definitely.
Have you checked out her J.D. Robb series?
I did, but you know what though? I enjoyed like the first 3 or 4 books, and I just kind of fell off. I'm like, maybe it was taking too long for me to connect with the main character, but I liked what I read, but none of them were 5s. They were like 4s. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I might get to it one day. Maybe. I don't know.
That's what I keep saying. Like, I own the first 3 books, and I'm like, someday I'll read you, but I haven't yet. So maybe if I'm really, really bored and have nothing else to read, even though I own like a million other books.
Well, that's one thing I've been good at this year is not really buying books. I have been utilizing all the different services that I have access to. I mean, outside of like credits that like are on auto buy.
Yes.
I have only bought 2 sets of books this year, and both of those were because I won gift certificates. So I bought the Sarah J. Maas Throne of Glass series, which I had already read and loved, but I wanted them for my shelf. So I treated myself to that. Of course, I didn't pay for it.
Yes.
And then I actually bought Ready Player One and Ready Player Two, which was another, like it was gifted to me basically.
Yeah.
And I liked Ready Player One, but I'm scared to start Ready Player Two because I've heard some seriously conflicting points of view on that second book. Yeah. So I'm a little scared, but I'm going to try to do it by the end of the year. We'll see how that goes. But that's it. Those were the only books I actually bought this year. Everything else that I've read, I either got it from the library, it was a part of a subscription service, or I already had it on my shelf because it was a reread, or let's see, that's it. That's
awesome.
Yeah. So anywho,
no, I've been terrible. I've been like, yes, books, buy all the books.
No way, Jose,
bad.
not me.
You're smart.
So what was your top book of the year?
So scrolling back through everything, first off, I typically read like 200 books a year for fun. This year, I only read 104. So like I'm at half capacity. And like I said earlier, they're all kind of like scrolling through my list of Goodreads books. I was like, nothing's really jumping out to me.
Mm-hmm.
But Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall was the one that I keep thinking about and keep coming back to. And I've talked about it on this podcast before. And it's the one that I remembered the most out of this entire year. And it's cute. It's fabulous. It's two men in a fake relationship falling in love with each other. And they both have parent issues that I related to hardcore because I have lots of parent issues. And I was like, oh my God, it's my parents on paper. But they dealt with it. I was like, oh, that gives me hope. So it's a really cute story. And yeah, I think that'd be my top pick for 2020. Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall.
I think I added that to my TBR. I just haven't gotten to it. But I plan to.
Go for it. Go for it.
I mean, I plan to do so many things. We'll see how long it sits there before I actually get to it. But it sounds cute. I like it. It's contemporary romance,
Contemporary romance. It's fake dating, which I love that trope. It's adult people dealing with their fucking awful parents and just like, no, I don't want to deal with you. You're abusive. Get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I relate to that so much. So
oh yeah. I think everyone on this planet has been scared, scarred, by your parents at one point or another.
I think that's my top pick of the year. There's some other good books, but that one stuck with me the most.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So do you have one that you just remember as the worst of the year? Like rock bottom? This sucks so bad?
Not published. But I've had some really, really bad sample edits given to me that I very politely passed on after reading, and I'm not going to say anything else. Those are the bottom of the barrel, bottom. Like, but reading like published books that are out there that I just picked up, nothing's coming to mind.
Okay.
Like I sometimes read shitty books just for fun, and then I forget about them. So,
I mean, that's good. But I did have one. I only had one star this year. And that's what so it was a tie between the 1 star I had and the 1 2-star I had.
Okay, hit us.
And I mean, honestly, the 2-star probably should have been a 1-star, but I think I only bumped it because it was a book club book and I didn't want to just totally shit on it. So, okay. So the 1 star is The New Husband by DJ Palmer. That was actually a buddy read from this year, and it was dreadful. I mean, the cover art is shitty. The description, the title of the book doesn't match in any way, shape, or form. Written by a man as from a woman's point of view.
Oh, God, no.
It was just, if you heard me and Classy talking about this book, you'd be like, oh my God. It was bad. full pass all the way. And the other one was called The Virgin Romance Novelist Chronicles by Megan Quinn. So it's like that whole, the male roommate likes the girl. Of course, the male roommate's a slut and the girl is a virgin. And then, of course, she meets somebody and she wants to get with them. And of course, he's extremely jealous. And this it was like all of those tropes that we talk shit about, like kind of rolled up into one kind of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it sounds like it.
It wasn't good to me. And like I said, I think I just gave it the mercy too, because I didn't want to be that person in book club. Although the person who picked the book said, I'm sorry. I didn't know that's what it was.
I do have a bad book that I quit. Where the Crawdad Sings. I read like the first chapter. I think I got maybe 20 pages into this book and then I fucking quit. So yeah, that's my 1 star lowest of the low for 2020. Where the Crawdad Sings. That was.
And you know what? All the people in this one book club say it's so great. But
nope.
Yeah, I think it's also the subject matter about, it's also like this girl that's like really abandoned, like basically.
Feral and abandoned, and it's awful. And talk about terrible parents. Yeah. And then it was spoiled for me. So do you care if I spoil it? If you want to.
Spoiler alert, jump ahead 30 seconds if you don't want to know. Yeah. Okay, go.
Okay, so she's actually the murderer at the end. So the whole thing is about this murder case, and it turns out, like, everybody says she's innocent because she couldn't have done it, except this one cop is like, she absolutely did it, and here's how she did it. And everybody's like, no, you're crazy. And then the end of the book is like, yeah, she did it, but she died peacefully, and, oh well. And I was like, really? Well. This is a fucking terrible book. Don't even try to pull that.
So what kind of book was it supposed to be? Was it supposed to be idea. Like, okay. Yeah, I mean, for some reason, a lot of people seem to like that book, but I just,
It spans her entire life, and it shouldn't. Like, it dragged out way too long. The style of writing was like, she was trying to be Southern, but didn't actually ever live in the South. And it was just, no.
It's just meh.
No. Yeah, I got 20 pages into that book and then threw it down.
Oh, so
that's my 1 star lowest of the low.
Because that's not very far, so. Oops.
I usually try to give a book about like 80, 90 pages before I quit. I couldn't even get to 20.
No.
So yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. At least you stopped, though. I read both of those books in full. I read them and was like,
I couldn't even read this one. I was like, no, I'm out. I'm out. Bye, bitches.
Deuces. Peace. All right. So what else should we talk about? I know we're going to do some gift recommendations after the break. I do have one reader react. One person. Come on, guys, dude.
Talk to us. Please talk to us.
Like, really, send me a message and I won't be mad. Send me a message and tell me why you are not answering to these questions. Like, what can we change? What can we change about how we're presenting it? Like, maybe there's something that's just not resonating. Maybe you don't like the questions, or maybe you just don't have time. I mean, I would love to know, because I mean, early on, we got a lot of feedback on these, and kind of like dead. Is it just the time of year? Is it 2020? Is it, what is it? Tell me. Should we keep doing Readers React? I'd love to hear from you guys. I love it. So
I do too.
Yeah.
Talk to us. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, message me or leave me a voicemail. Let me know, hey, Tamara, this is why. Or I like them. Keep doing them. I'll reply eventually. I'm okay with that too.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know. Maybe we should take a quick break right quick, hear from our sponsors, and then we'll come back and do the Readers React and the rest.
Okay, stay with us. Today's episode is brought to you by the Shelf Addiction merch store. Check out all the Bookish t-shirts, notebooks, mugs, and more. Don't miss out on these original designs, perfect for any book nerd. Support the podcast and visit shelfaddiction.com/merch and pick up your next favorite Bookish item. All right, welcome back, guys. So in the Readers React, we wanted to know, what was your 2020 reading high and low, kind of just what we just talked about. So your best and worst, and, just tell us all the things, like what your 2020 looked like. And Kiara from the Shelf Addiction official Facebook group actually provided a comment. She said, I read a bunch of Ilona Andrews books this year, and I loved all of them, so it's hard to pick a favorite out of those. I also read The Great Alone and The Sundown Motel this year, both 5 stars for me. As for a low point, I read Stormfront by Jim Butcher, and I did not like it. But I have no desire to continue the series. I was sort of bored with it, though I did immensely enjoy James Martin's audio performance. Okay, thank you, Kiara. Let me tell you, yay! I agree with your 5 stars. Mm-hmm. Although Sundown Motel, I think I gave 4. So The Great Alone, I read that for book club last year. It's by Christian Hanna. Very good, about this woman who lives in Alaska with her family. Alaska, a place I would never want to live. No offense, but if it's like that book, it's not for me. I'm just saying. And of course, Sundown Motel was pretty good as well. That was a buddy read this year. So I see you checking out the buddy reads, Kiara. I see it. And of course,
and the 3 bloggers.
Yes,
we did Ilona Andrews.
We sure did. So she read all those books with us, and I'm glad she really liked them. But you know what? Jim Butcher has been on my radar for a while. People tend to say, in urban fantasy groups, they tend to always recommend him, although I haven't read a single one. Not yet.
So I read the first book, which I think is called Stormfront, maybe. The first book in the series, in the Dresden Files series. I read it 2 or 3 years ago. It was the worst trash I've ever read.
Yikes.
I finished the book, but I was screaming at it the entire time. I hated the main character. Every single woman cried at some point on his shoulder. Every single woman. Even the hard-ass cops would just fall apart and start crying on his shoulder, and he had to comfort them. I was like, why the fuck does this have to happen?
Oh, no.
The plotline made no sense. I didn't like any of it. The writing was terrible. Oh my God. Talk about a hate read. I hate read that book, and I've never picked up another book by him, and I don't ever plan to.
Oh no. Okay, so that definitely made me not want to read it anymore.
Don't read it. Don't read it. Don't do it.
Kiara and you, I'm nix on it. No, I'm out. Yeah.
No, there are better books to read.
Okay. Duly noted. Although I do like James Marsden, and I did not know he even did audiobooks. So that was new to me. So, oh well, sorry. It won't
Maybe
be on
he does another series. Other books.
Now, this was one thing I did think about. I had just recently started, I told you the other day, I had just started The Duke and I. And I would say I would want to put that and you guys, full disclosure, I am not done. I'm not even halfway. So my opinion may change, but as of today, I think it's one of the most surprising reads of this year so far. A read that I would never pick up on my own, which I did this time only because there's a Netflix show. But so far, I'm surprisingly enjoying it more than I thought I would. So it's it's a little surprise book for 2020. Surprise, you like it. I'm so I thought that was kind of cool in the year with something like that, that I was actually enjoying unexpectedly.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I'm definitely going to start reading it either this week or next week in preparation for the Netflix show. because that's my life plan right now.
Girl, you know, Shonda, she loves her multicultural cast.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be interesting to see how she turned this vanilla white book into a cast that is colorful in this timeline and everything. I'm going to love it.
Yes.
I feel like she's going to kick it up a notch. I know she will. So,
oh, hell yes.
Yes.
So
and
excited.
the guy that plays the Duke is fine AF. Mm-hmm. He's cute.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
I don't know his name, but he's fine. I may have to look that up eventually. I don't know. I'll look it up when I start watching and I hear about what his name is.
Yes. And what else we can watch him in. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So my surprise read isn't really a surprise read, but it's A Madness of Sunshine by Nalini Singh. And I love Nalini, but it's a thriller. And I usually don't read thrillers. And so I was I was going to read it anyway because I love her, but I really, really enjoyed it.
Really?
So, yeah.
What was it called again?
A Madness of Sunshine. And she has another book coming out next year, maybe February 2021. That's all another thriller. I don't know if it's set in the same world, if it's something totally different. But yeah, no, I really like her thrillers. I love her in general, like but
regular real world thriller, like nothing magical. Or
nothing paranormal, nothing magical. It's set in New Zealand. It's beautiful. Like she describes the whole lush area. Everybody's looking for this young girl who's gone missing and they don't know if she's dead or abducted or what happened. And they're finding out all these secrets in this small town. And I was hooked from the start. When I usually wouldn't read something like this. But it's Nalini. And I was like, of course I'm going to try it. So yeah.
Ooh, okay, I'm going to add her. I'm going to add that just because, you know, you liked it and it's out of your wheelhouse.
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, you didn't have that I love her favoritism in there, did you? No.
Maybe a little bit. Like I definitely was like, oh, Nalini wrote this book. I'm going to pick it up and read it. But I was like, it might not like it because it's a thriller and I typically don't do this. So I went in like hoping it'd be good, but also kind of bracing myself if it might have been like a 2 or 3 star. But no, I think I gave it like 4 and a half.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, no, it was really good.
Okay.
So
I'm going to add it because why not? Why not? My never ending TBR list is accept new books.
Always accept the new books.
Yes. All right. Well, let's talk about some gifts, man.
Yes.
You know, book lovers are the easiest people to buy for. And it's like people who don't read books don't know. So if you are a book lover, because you're listening to this podcast, and either you're just not good at giving gifts, these are some ideas. Or if you know somebody who needs to buy you a gift, tell them to listen to this podcast. So you can give them some ideas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I can start. I have a couple listed. Do you have 1 or 2? You have a couple?
I have 2 or 3.
Okay, perfect.
Depending on, yeah.
So this one, I mean, I'm not even going to be funny, y'all. This is a shameless plug. Shameless plug. And that is the Shelf Addiction merch store. Like, I'm not playing. There are good things in there. I ordered my own merch because it's good stuff.
Like, I need to go shopping in there.
Yeah, you can get like mugs and t-shirts. I love the t-shirts, sweatshirts. Ooh. You know how, all the things, all the designs that I made, and they're great.
Yes.
And a few curated designs too. So there's that. So shameless plug. Check out the merch store and buy yourself a gift. Okay, buy yourself a gift. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So what's yours?
I have 2 shameless plugs. I'll do the first one. Bookshop.org. You know, it helps independent bookstores. So if you don't have a local bookstore, or if you do, maybe you can buy from your bookstore through their website. It gives 10% back to bookstores. It takes money away from Amazon. Like, just shop local. And I have an affiliate link with that. So if you want to buy books, you can buy through my link and I'll get a little commission out of it. So,
Well,
yay, give me money and get yourself books.
Yeah, I'll put the affiliate info in
Yes.
the show notes so you guys can find it. And help Casey out.
Yes.
And buy good books and support indie
Yes.
bookstores all at the same time.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So my second one is honestly, like, I'm a planner girl through and through. I have been planning forever and ever. And even now, when I don't have a whole lot of things, to do outside of the house, obviously, I still use like journal style notebooks, especially to keep track of all the things I'm reading for all the groups and the podcast.
Yes.
So I definitely recommend a book journal. So even if, they don't really like planning per se, but maybe they like writing, they could probably even write like things they liked about the book in here, things they didn't like. They can write book club notes. They can just take notes for a book club. They can just make reading lists, books they want to read, books they have read. There's a lot of things you can do with a book journal or reading journal. And I found a few cool ones, and some of them are on Amazon, which is a business because you can order it and have it in 2 or 3 days.
Yep.
So yeah, get a book journal or a reading journal. And there are links in the show notes, affiliate links. Yes, I earn 2 cents if you use them. But, you have easy access to check them out. And I think readers, all kind of readers, nonfiction readers, fiction readers, people who only read a little bit, people who read a lot, everyone can use a reading or a book journal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even business people or artists who need to sketch or keep notes or whatever, students, everybody can use a journal.
Yes.
Yay. Okay, so first I want to give a shout out to a very specific indie bookstore called The Ripped Bodice, which is a romance bookstore out in California. You can find any book on their website, not just romance books, but they are predominantly romance. You can also buy teas that they make and mugs and t-shirts and journals and all kinds of other things. So if you want like a specific indie bookstore, not just bookshop in general to support, go to The Ripped Bodice.
Nice.
All right. And so my final plug, my final shameless plug is my own business, Heart Full of Ink. I'm an editor and I offer plotting services, editing services, series Bibles. I will write your blurb. And for everybody listening, if you email me and mention this podcast specifically, I will give you 10% off any service. So listen, email me, and you get 10% off. I'm not offering this anywhere else. So all you guys are special.
Yay. Wonderful. So I did have one more thing, and it's just because, shelf addiction, bookshelves. I love shelves.
Yes.
So I always recommend shelves. So for the fancy person in your life, get the huge IKEA shelves. I'll have a link because those are my floor to ceiling shelves that are on my wish list that I will be buying for myself very soon. I love them. They're gorgeous. I'll link them. And then for those that may have a small space or you have an overflow of books, I have found an awesome link to some floating bookshelves. They're so adorable. I love them. So if you want to like stack 5 or 6 books in the middle of a wall or do some kind of design with them, it's the business, floating bookshelves. I'm like, very cute, classic, nice look, if you're not interested in filling a wall full of books. So I like it. Yay. So yeah, I hope you guys like those ideas. Again, the links are in the show notes. Comments, pertaining to each item we listed are in the show notes as well. So you don't have to miss out. And hey, order today. Yeah. Get all the things. Treat yourself. Get it for you and your friends.
Exactly.
All right. I don't know, Casey, is there anything else we should cover while we're here? Is there anything? Tell me if I'm missing something. I don't know. I don't think so.
We hit everything.
Okay.
Do we want to talk about goals and stuff we want to do in 2021, or do we want to save that for January?
Well, we can just say what we're doing in January, which is that. So definitely subscribe to the podcast so that you don't miss our 2021 highly anticipated books. We'll be talking about our goals as far as setting goals and if we're going to or not, all of that stuff.
Yep.
You know, it's a new year, new reset, and we'll be talking about that, I guess, the second week of January, something like that.
Yep, something like that.
So be sure you're subscribed. If you're listening like on some random place, come back and subscribe so you don't miss it.
Follow us.
Yes, follow us. And you guys, I'm telling you, since you already know what the topic is, you know what the question's going to be.
Yes.
So get ready to tell us your reaction or what your feedback is on, 2021 reading goals and anticipated books.
Yes.
That's it. I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for joining. Appreciate you being here to download, stream, and listen to the podcast. And of course, to the Patreon subscribers, thanks so much for being here as well. It's been a great year.
Yes.
Yes, I love you all. Thank you so much. We'll see you in 2020. And until then, 2021. Ooh, no, not 2020.
Not 2020.
2020 is in the rear view. So we'll see you in 2021. Until then, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and take care of yourselves.
Bye, everybody.
If you enjoyed today's episode and would like to show your support, there are a few things you can do. Head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a positive 5-star review, or like this episode on your favorite podcast player. It seems so simple, but it really helps me out. You can share this podcast with other book nerd friends or on your favorite social media space. You can also join the Shelf Addiction Patreon family. For as little as $2 a month, you will help us produce even more awesome content for your ears. You can also consider joining the Shelf Addiction official Facebook group, where we talk all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven network. You can also reach us via email at info@shelfaddiction.com. Thank you for listening.
If you've got an insurance question, you could talk to the butcher at your local grocery store. He'd probably talk about trimming the fat, but it'd be about your brisket, not your insurance policies. Or you could talk to your local Geico agent. They offer personalized assistance in finding the choicest cuts of coverage for all your insurance needs, which means more money for filet mignon. Or, if you're a vegetarian, tofu lait mignon. To find a Geico agent near you, visit geico.com/local.
There's still time to get all those last-minute gifts at Macy's. Just buy online and get your order today with contact-free curbside pickup or pickup inside the store. Need it now but can't get to Macy's? Try lightning-fast same-day delivery powered by DoorDash, available in select locations. Plus, you can also shop early and late during extended store hours right up to the last minute at your local Macy's. Some exclusions apply. Pickup and same-day delivery valid for most in-stock items at select stores only.